everyone, we are back with a special effects makeup look today, and I'm just going to grab my disposable sponge, start applying some liquid latex around my mouthpiece that I made. If you guys would like to know how I made this mouthpiece, just leave a comment in the comment section below. I would have applied some tissue paper if I had some by me, but instead I just applied a few thin layers of latex and held it down a few times, and that did the job. I was using liquid latex rather than Prozade or Spirit Gum because liquid latex was the only thing I had at this time. And we are moving on to the paint. I'm using alcohol activated paints. This alcohol activated paints can only be used with 99% alcohol, nothing more and nothing less. I will be using the Bruise shades from this alcohol activated paint palette today, and how I got this effect from using this sponge was taking a few pieces out of the top of the sponge, kind of making a little bitty holes out of it, and therefore it gives you the wounded effect. So I'm starting off with this purple Bruise shade from this alcohol activated paint palette. This is the FX. I know only professionals can order this palette. It may or may not be available for you guys. I can try to link it in the description box below. If I can, I will. You have to be very careful whenever you're working with alcohol activated paints by your eyes, because obviously it's alcohol, it's going to burn your eyes. The next shades I worked with were some red and orange tones. I'm going towards working on my décolleté to my neck and my cheeks and my ears. I worked on this part while I waited for the liquid latex to dry. You also don't want to press too hard while you're trying to get this effect, because if you do, you're just going to smudge everything together. So you want to have a light touch, and you want to make sure you're dispersing the pigment to an extent as well. With these paints, the more alcohol you use, the less pigment you get. So however deep you want the pigment to be, the less alcohol you use. The more pigment you need, the less alcohol you use. I went in with some green and blue shades from the alcohol activated paint palette to kind of give me that more of a dead look as well. Just to add some definition to this look. While I'm wearing my little cat ears. Alright. Did not enjoy using this brush. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend using this brush. But, you know, you do when you do, and you learn from your mistakes. But therefore, I added some blue, and then I added some of the same colors that I used on my neck and, well, and my décolleté. I'm going into my temples now, adding those same blue and green shades, and I'm going to add the orange tones and the red tones as well, using those same techniques that I used on my décolleté and my neck. I'm going to go ahead and add those blue tones and those green tones underneath my eyes as well. Again, you have to be so careful when working with alcohol activated paints by your eyes. I am going in with this water activated paint, painting my prosthetic with this black shade. This is by Mayron, making sure it doesn't drip all over me. And now I'm just going to touch up everything pretty much Alright, and I'm just adding the purple shade that I pretty much used the whole beginning because that was my favorite shade that I used to create the most definition and the most bruising effect to this whole look, and that's just gonna add that zombie-like effect to this whole look. I'm going to add that to my cheekbones, I'm gonna add it to my ears, my temples, and I'm going to add it where I see fit. Also going to add it underneath my eyes and to the green spots on my décolleté as well. And we are finishing up. It's time to cue the creepy montage in 3, 2, 1.
Let it bang, bang. Let it bang, bang. Let it bang, bang. let it hang, hang. Let it hang, hang. Let it hang.